Hello and welcome to Coffee Talk. I'm in a somber mood today because of the reason of this video. The title of this video, what this video is about, because nothing else really matters. I should be on here today doing a Man United versus Galatasaray preview, but some news has surfaced overnight that makes football on the pitch, the performances, insignificant. And that is the sale of the club. We all know the fans' hatred for the Glazers, how much we want the Glazers out. And there's a deal that surfaced overnight that is currently the only deal that matches the Glazers' valuation of the club. And it's not for a 100% takeover. Let me switch to Sky News. It is for a 25% stake of the club. And it would be a 1.5 billion bid. So this would be the only. This would be the 6 billion valuation that the Glazers want. Obviously, 1.5 times 4. For if it would be 100% of the shares, that would be 6 billion. But it would keep the Glazers in charge of Manchester United. They would still be the majority shareholders. This would be the significant investment that the Glazers need. And they would continue as majority shareholders. This would just be. This would lock us in for a future of failure. It's been 18 years since the Glazers took over. Would probably 18 more years, if not more, of continual Glazer ownership. And you think the first 18 years were bad, when we went from a title-winning, dominant English team, the most dominant English team in football, to what we are now. That was a transition that happened over those 18 years. Didn't take long. We haven't won a Premier League title for 10 years. Didn't take long at all. But think about where we are now for another 18 decades of Glazer ownership. I worry what it would be like in 30 years' time. Would we be a mid-table club or worse in 20, 30 years? I fear for that. And that is a big possibility to happen with this deal. 1.5 billion for 25%. Keeping the Glazers at the helm. Now, Sheikh Yassim is also interested still. The Qatari man, he wants to buy the club for it's less than the 6 billion valuation. And let's be honest, the Glazers they don't want to leave. With the new Champions League format coming in next season, meaning that Manchester United are more likely to qualify for the Champions League, just with the way how it's structured, with more teams, and a couple of those teams going through on like UEFA coefficient as opposed to having to finish top 4. That's it's getting nearer and nearer to the Super League, more and more games, more and more commercial opportunities. The Glazers don't know, like, football has just expanded almost exponentially, right? And the money that you can make from a football club has just expanded. So they don't know what football is going to be like in 10 years. But if it continues at the same rate, is what it has done in the last, since the TV revenue is massively increased. If it continues at the same rate, then they'll sit there, the 5 billion, the 6 billion, the valuation, that could be 10 billion in 10 years. It's the value of football clubs has gone up far more than inflation. Football inflation has gone up far more than standard inflation, with the shopping that you get, the fuel prices, house prices, etc. Football inflation's just gotten ridiculous. So that's why they don't want to sell, because they don't know what the valuation is going to be worth. But let me tell you what I don't understand. Why? Surely money isn't everything, right? They've made their bank. Having the hate of a group of people, the poor wishes for you from a group of people, Manchester United fans, that can't be healthy. That can't be, people with a lot of money, they're not necessarily happy. You see a lot of celebrities, Hollywood celebrities, turn to drugs, be depressed, Money doesn't necessarily make you happy. So why is it worth it? Is it worth it? It clearly is to the Glazers, to have every single Manchester United fan hate them. Because they're not interested in football. It's a money-making machine for them. We're £1 billion in debt now. £1 billion in debt. They took over and it was about 600 million. That's just kept increasing. And now we're £1 billion in debt. And by the way, Sir Jim Ratcliffe, when he takes over, none of that debt's going to get paid down. Well, he won't take over. When he gets his minority stake, none of that's going to get paid down. The only opportunity that we have for a bright future at Manchester United is an ownership similar to Qatari ownership, because he's going to pay off the debt straight away. When you're paying a 6% interest rate currently, because the interest rates are high, when you're paying 6% on 1 billion that you owe, that's 60 million per year. Manchester United have just had a shirt sponsorship, unprecedented, right? For next year with Snapdragon. Unprecedented. The amount of finances that are involved in it. And that is 60 million per year. That is paying off the interest rate for the 1 billion that we owe. That's it. That's where the money goes, to the bank straight away. So United haven't got a future under the Glazers. And if it's 1 billion, where's that gonna go to? That's increased from 600 million to 1 billion. What's the debt gonna be like in 5 years? These same problems about United lacking finances, having to get Weghorst on loan, because we can't buy anyone like until the summer. Those sort of deals that only Manchester United make. You have a look at top clubs and you think, why are Manchester United buying, having Weghorst on loan? Why are Manchester United getting Reguilon on loan until from Spurs, fourth choice left back? Even though granted he has done well, but you have a look at those deals and you think, would Liverpool make that deal? City certainly wouldn't. And yet, like Arsenal, Chelsea, anyone, would any of them make that deal? No. Well, that's because, as the Glazers have said, Manchester United, we need significant investment. We haven't got the money. And that's a bit of an understatement when you see that we're £1 billion in debt. And I wish I could come on here and just do my normal preview, but it's been a distraction because it's been quiet around the sale. We've sort of just got on with it. And our minds have turned back to football. Unfortunately, because the performances have been absolutely terrible. But, like I say, nothing else matters. Nothing else matters. If this was to go through, that's it. That's the club's future cemented. So, my hope is that Sir Jim Ratcliffe, he's considering buying at the moment. Considering buying. The thing is, it's okay for the Glazers, right? How? It's not just me that thinks this is going to be a terrible deal. Every single Manchester United fan is going to see this as getting into bed with the Glazers, allowing the Glazers to stay. That's what United fans are going to see this deal as. And the same amount of hatred that the Glazers have, Sir Jim Ratcliffe will receive that. And the thing is, the Glazers don't really care. The Glazers are in the US. What does it matter to them? They don't see. They live in the US. They don't see United fans anyway. However, Sir Jim Ratcliffe, he lives in the UK. He won't. I don't think he'll be able to visit Old Trafford. He won't be able to see his players play, his club play. He won't be able to visit Old Trafford that often through fear of what might happen. And I think right now we need fan voices. On Tuesday we need protest. Nothing's happened yet, but they need chants. We need signs. Don't take the deal. Because this is the future of Manchester United. Like I say, everything else is insignificant. But yeah, it's a somber video today. I'm not gonna bother doing a preview for the game. I will be live doing the game. But I just feel lethargic about the potential of this happening. I hope it's just one of those stories. Where I don't think it is, but where we've just had lots of this person's close. Oh, this person's close. Oh, they want this deal. We've had a lot of stories that have just been absolute nonsense. But the thing is, this wasn't reported on. This was reported on like Sky Sports News. straight away. Didn't hit like, it wasn't on the bloody Metro or anywhere. This was Sky Sports News. So I think it is true. And like I say, the thing why I'm most concerned about this than any of the other is that this matches the valuation. And the Glazers clearly, as they would have sold the club by now, they want to stay at the helm at Manchester United. They want to keep control of the club. And this is, I think, the perfect deal for them. Matches the valuation in 1.5 billion for 25%. Keeps them at the club. They will take this if Sir Jim Ratcliffe actually does offer it. So, yeah, that's the video for today. I'm sorry that there wasn't a preview, but more important things to address. I will be live at 7:30 on YouTube. Do subscribe the video. United fans need to let their voices be heard. That we don't want this deal. We don't want the Glazers still at the club. Okay, have a wonderful day, everyone. I'll speak to you soon. Bye.